this 6-inch pyramid mold that I'm going to design this pyramid in, and it has this insert here. And what you start out doing is you, in order for your mold to come out good, you put powder in here. You put a little powder. Oh, just a little bit. I'm using one hand here. And hold on, I'm gonna get a brush. Spread it around. Cover all the surfaces of your mold with that powder. You don't need much, because then you even take it out and get the excess out. Okay, put that back in there, and then what I always try to do is make sure that it's level, because my table is not level. So I put a leveler on there, and it's not quite right. Get rid of this powder. So I just use a little popsicle stick, and hopefully that will adjust it. Raise it up under, and voila, that's even enough. Even enough. Now this first layer, I already did a little pyramid with some leftover resin that I had. And I had poured it in a different pyramid. It's dry, and I just wanted to take it out so that you could see this first layer. I'm just going to take it out and use it in this one. Just for demonstration purposes, I pulled it out of the other one. And then what I did, so it sits like that down the bottom. And what I did was, I have these little bitty gold balls, and I just put those on top. So I'm just going to place this in here for my first layer. And then I use this mold. Can you see that? It's I don't know, some type of dragon, sphinx, something like that, because I wanted to. Every mold is different. I never know what I'm going to do or how it's going to come out. So I used it, made with some leftover resin, this mold, and then I glued it to this. Where I got this, I have no idea. It's in my stash, and I thought it was real pretty. So then I took the fairy lights. These are the fairy lights, and I strung them through here. I have them here. So what I'm going to do is place these with this down in here. And I'm not going to take the lights apart this time. I want them to go in there in that circle, the way they're wrapped up already. And then I'm just going to balance this rhinestone circle bling thing like that. Then what I do is, hopefully I can get that to sit right. Then what I do, I feed it in enough. You've got plastic on this far. I feed it through that much where the plastic is on the outside. Most of the just plain wires on the inside. And so I'll stuff that down in there. And I use some painter's tape, masking tape, and I just tape this on here so it's out of the way. I've taped off the box here and the wire to get it up out of the way. And then I changed my mind with the lights. You know, I was going to have them in a circle just down at the bottom. But what I did, I took this little thing with the dragon on it, and I wrapped the lights around it so that it would really make this dragon and rhinestone circular thing bling out, stick out, stand out when it's turned on. Let me turn it on for you. Let's see if I can. Oh, it's bright. It's bright. So that's going to be a lot of light down in there. So now I'm just going to place it in there, and it's going to sit right on It's gonna move a little bit, but it'll be all right. I'm gonna put the resin in here, and then I'm gonna set something on it to keep it down and keep it flat. So I also colored. Wow, let me turn the lights off and show you that. I also kind of brightened the dragon up a little bit, Sphinx or whatever it's called. I don't know if you can see that or not. I put some color to it. I used some mica powder, and that's like antique gold. And then I did a little. This one doesn't have a color, but it's pretty. It's I don't know what color it is. It's kind of like a copper. So I did that in the middle of the body, and then I brightened up some of it with this gold mica powder. Make him stand out a little bit more. Okay, so let me situate him down in here. And I've already mixed up the resin. It's I use Stone Coat resin and hardener, and it's equal parts. So I've mixed up 6 ounces. That should be plenty enough. I just want to go up to the top of this circular thing. And what I'm going to do, I have some iridescent flakes, because I want this part down here to be clear. What I'm pouring now, I want it to be clear so that the light shines through, so that it's bright, the light shines through. And then after that dries, I'll pour another layer, and that'll be on top of this circular thing in this dragon, and that part can be dark. And it'll be light in the middle where the light will shine. So this part can be a dark color or whatever I decide to do. I'm not sure yet what that next layer is going to be. But I have these iridescent flakes, and I'm just going to mix some because it'll still be clear, but those flakes will shine through the resin, and it'll give it a nice little touch. I hope. I'm not going to put a whole lot in there. I just want a little shine with these, and that probably should be plenty. Just put this much. Let me mix that up. Mix that into the resin, and we can see. It just gives it a little iridescent glow. Can y'all see that through there? I don't want a lot, because I want that to be clear, which it is clear, but it gives it a little something, something, so it's not just plain. So that's good. And I'm just going to pour this in there, and I'm going to have to come back probably tomorrow, or whenever I get back at it. I'm going to have to let this harden up, because I can't do the next coat until this, I can't do the next layer until this layer hardens. So I'm just going to pour it through, and this, hopefully this is enough. And if it's too much, because I just wanted it to come up to the rim of that circle, if I've made too much, then I can use it to make some, use it in my molds. I got a bunch of silicone molds. I can make some little objects for a later time. Might not be enough. I might have to make some more. Let's see. No, it's getting there. It's getting there. I think. Look, I'm still pouring, still pouring. I don't know. I thought it was. Oh yeah. It's coming right up to the rim now. And I just got a little bit left in here. And it'll be okay if I go over this rim. Actually, I think I will. I'm just going to pour all this in there. I don't have to worry about it. I don't have to use another mold to use this up. Just pour it all in here. You know me, waste not, want not. I'm going to get that out of there. Let's look at there. That's a lot of resin coming out of there. Some people tell you not to scrape the sides of the container that you mix the resins in, because you may not have mixed it well, and you might be, you know, mixing a part in here that's not fully blended, and it will mess up your resin, or you get it sticky or whatever. But I mix mine real well. It tells you 3 minutes. I usually mix from 4 to 5 minutes. I scrape the sides. I scrape this like that, and I put it back in there, and I scrape and scrape and scrape. So anyway, let me just get this little bit out. I was just talking and kind of went overboard. Okay. And if you leave this in here like that to dry overnight, you can just pull it out, and it'll pull all the resin out. Make it easy cleanup. Okay. So it's filled up. I'll show you. Up over the top of that. And what I'm going to do to keep it even, it's not going anywhere, it's not moving, but this is a silicone cup, and I filled it with white sand, and I will probably be using some of this sand in this next layer. But what I can do is sit this cup, because it's silicone, I can sit it right here on top to make sure that piece stays in here and doesn't move. And once it's dry, yeah, that kind of pushed it down some. That's good. Once it's dry, being that this is silicone, it'll peel right off the resin. So I'm just weighting it down with that sand in there. Let that dry overnight. I got you on there. And I'll come back at it. I don't know when I'll get to it. I might be able to get to it tomorrow, but if not, you'll see. I'll bring you back on camera and finish this up. Or continue with it until I get it done. Alright, I'll be back. Hello everyone, I'm back. It's the next day. My resin has cured. It's hard as a rock. And I want to prepare the next layer to cover this up. And it's going to be a solid layer. Yeah, it's going to be a solid layer. And what I've done is I've taken that cup off that I had holding that down. I had sand in there, white sand, and I poured the sand into this cup. And then I'm going to mix it up. I'm going to change the color. I also poured some of these iridescent white flakes into the sand. I think I'm going to put some mica powder and stir it up. I just want a darker color sand. So this is the antique gold. And I'm just going to put a little bit in here at a time. Stir it up. Let's see what I come up with. I've got some brown also. See if I need that. So let me just blend it all together. Blend it all together. That gave me a little tan. I do want it a little darker. Let me try this. This is coffee. Let me put just a little bit of this coffee color in there. I'm just going to do a little bit. Let's see what color that brings me. Okay, it's getting better, but I think I want it a little bit darker. I'm going to put more of the gold, antique gold in there. This will probably do it. Maybe. It's slowly getting darker. Is that a sand color, you all? Or do I need it darker? I don't want to get it too dark because I can't take it out. I want it to bling like, and that iridescent flakes might help it to bling, to shine, to glitter. I think I'm going to put some more of the iridescent flakes in there. Tell you, it's all trial and error. You just try different mediums, different types of powders and foils and flakes to come up with something pretty. And if I don't use all this, of course I will store it in a container. Store it in a container and use it for something else later. Okay, y'all, I'm going to put a little gold in there. And then that's going to be it. I think I'm going to stop. We always say that and then we keep going. But I'm going to put some gold in there and see what that does. The other one was an antique gold. This is more of a bright gold. And this brand, Perfect Pearls, it's by Ranger, but it doesn't put the color. It doesn't name the color on here. Let's stir that up. It probably didn't do anything. And it didn't. It didn't. Well, that's brown enough. That's definitely brown enough. So I'm going to mix my resin up. And then what I do, because now with this mold, it's deep. And I'm going to use deep pour resin. It's a resin that if you're pouring 2 inches or more, 2 to 4 inches, you use that type of resin. It takes longer to cure. It definitely would be 24 hours or more before it cures. Do I want to do that right now? No, I take that back. I'm going to put a thin layer of this with resin just to coat the top of this. So maybe 1/4 of an inch or so. I think that's what I'm going to do. So we'll see. Let me mix up some resin. Put this in there and I'll be back. I've mixed my resin and I use the Stone Coat 2-part. So I've got 100 milliliters, so I did 50 and 50. Got that mixed, and then with this sand mixture, I added some gold glitter to it to give it a little more sparkle. You probably, I don't know if you can see that or not, but to give it a little more glitter. And then what I did was place the silicone cup back on top. And I put some stones in it to hold it down this time. And then I also added some these gold leaves. Let me see, can you see that? These gold leaves, I've added that on that layer. I'm always changing my mind and doing something different. I just never know how these are going to come out or what I'm going to use, and as I go along, I change my mind and do different things. So, what I'm going to do is pour some of that resin, move this out the way, pour this resin into this sand mixture, mix it up good. Mix it up good and pour it over those gold leaves. And I left that cup in there, that silicone cup, because I want to form a hollow hole inside of the resin. Because I'm going to put an image in there. I think I want to print out, I want to find some Egyptian wallpaper, gold Egyptian background wallpaper. So that's pretty thick. I think I'm going to add a little bit more resin. Thick, but I want it to be able to pour. I don't want it too thick where it doesn't spread around that cup. So it looks like I'm going to have to put some more resin in there. Okay, let's see what that does. See how that thins it out. Yeah, it should spread. I hope that's thin enough. Maybe just a little bit more. And this resin here, this stone coat, you have a window of about, I believe, 40 minutes before it actually starts hardening. So I have time to play with it and get it right. Yeah, that's better. You see that sparkly in there? I just want to give it a little bling. You know we love bling. We love shine. I do anyway. So, I'm going to pour around this cup. This silicone cup. Let me move this into the camera. Hopefully I've made enough. If not, I still have more sand left and more resin, and I can make more. So I'm just going to pour this around the cup. And resin levels out, so it will level evenly around. As long as I have this large box leveled on the table, which I'll do again. I'll put the level tool on it and see if it's even, if it's level. Yeah, this is enough. I just want a thin layer for right now, because I'm going to continue to create and see what I come up with to do these other layers. I think the next one's going to be a clear coat, because I want the image that I print out, the Egyptian, I don't know, wallpaper, Egyptian gold wallpaper background, some type of pattern. I'm going to go online and see what I can find. I want to place that inside. Once I pull this out, I'll have clear resin around here that's going to harden, and then I'll be able to pull this out and stick that image in there in a circle. Stick it in there. You'll see as I go. It's hard to explain. You may understand, but I'm not understanding how I'm trying to explain it. You'll see. I'll see. We'll see as we go. Okay, that's good enough. Now what I'm going to do is put the level tool up there and see. That's off a little bit. It's not too bad. Which way does it go? Oh, this way. So I'm going to put this little popsicle stick underneath and level it out. Yep, there we go. That's better. Just cleaning up the edges where some of that resin got on the side of the mold where I don't want it. Then I can always go in and clean it up after it dries. It'd be easier to clean it up after it dries with alcohol, or diaper wipe, baby wipe, not a diaper wipe. Same thing, but a baby wipe. Yeah, that's about a ½ inch. That's over a 1/4 of an inch. But that's okay. That's okay. So this is what I've done. I don't know if you can see this on the side. Uh-oh. It's about a ½ an inch. Right in here. Alrighty, we gotta let this dry. Let this dry, and with this resin, I can let it dry for about 4 hours, and then I can work on top of it. I've got extra resin left, so I'm going to mix some colors with this and pour it into some small molds, earring molds, I don't know, something. Will not waste. Alright, be back after this dries for the next layer. Hello and good morning. I've let this dry. It's Monday, the next day. That ½ inch layer is completely dry, and I'm going to come up with another idea. I'm going to take this out, and I've made, I printed this. I found a Egyptian wallpaper type thing, and I printed it out double-sided, and then I coated it with laminate paper. So what I want to do is glue this in a circle and set it. You have to put everything in this thing upside down, because you realize when you turn it over, everything will be right side up. But I want to set this in that hole. Let's see, let's take this out. See, but it being silicone, it'll peel right out. See that? Now I've got that hole in there, and my ideal is to glue this together on that strip and stick it down in this hole, like so, and then glue around to seal it in. So let's do that. Got my glue gun heating up. It should be hot. Yep. See how this is going to work. I'm always changing my mind with something. So I'm just going to put a strip of hot. Ooh, I got white glue. Where did the white glue come from? I guess it doesn't matter. Strip of hot glue. Bring this around. And seal it. I want to make sure that nothing seeps through, so I'm going to glue it on the inside as well, because I don't want any epoxy to seep through this once I pour it on the outside. So let me going to smooth it out. I know it's hot, but I'm going to go real fast. Ooh. Oh, ooh, ooh. Yeah. Put a little bit more on this side. Is that where the seal is? Can't see in there good. And then I'm just going to smooth it out real quick. It's not that bad. It's just a little warm. Hopefully, I put a good seal on there, so looks like I need some on this outside so that it's sealed all the way. Yep. Okay, I'm going to take this and let's see, this is the right side up. I'm turning it upside down. Stick it in here. Yep, stick it in there, and then I'm going to seal it all the way around. But actually, I got a white glue stick in here that I do not want. I want the clear, so I'm going to squeeze all that out. Yeah, I'm wasting glue, but I don't want the white glue. I want clear glue. Now I'm just going to seal this in with the hot glue. Go all the way around and make sure that the epoxy can't seep through. Just make sure it's sealed. Okay, hopefully that's good. And this does two parts. It actually leaves a hollow hole right here where I don't have to, that's less resin that I have to use because this is taking up the space. Get those strings out of there. And also serves as a decorative piece with the Egyptian wallpaper, because what I have done, I have some molds that I filled that I want to put on the sides of this before I put the clear layer in. I got it sealed in there real good, and then what I did was put some glue on the inside and sealed it on the inside as well. So I have some Egyptian goddess molds, because that's the theme that I want this pyramid to be, that I poured, and I put I painted them on the inside with not paint, but I used mica powder just to put a little color to them, and I used that sandy resin and put a little more color in it. So let's see what we got. Let me unmold these. So that one's Nefertiti. There's my mold. I'll put a little color to her. She looks old. Nefertiti. Who's next? This is, I believe, Queen Anubis. I believe. Queen Anubis. I think that's how you say that. Anubis. King Tut. We all know him. That's his mold. And then the next one's got to be Nefertiti. Nefertiti. Queen Nefertiti. No. I did Nefertiti. I'm tripping. Oh, this is the god. This is the god of Anubis. An Egyptian god, Anubis. Anubis. So what I wanted to do was take these, you gotta put them in upside down, and put them on each side. So that's Nefertiti. I'll put King Tut on this side. Then we'll put Queen Anubis on one side, and the Anubis god on this side. And I'm just gonna, I was gonna use UV resin, but I think since I have this heat glue gun on, I'm just gonna glue the edge, put some on the edge, and stick it down in there. A lot quicker and simpler. And make sure I get that upside down. Yes. So let me do Nefertiti. Just put some along the edge. Ooh. Put her in upside down. God Anubis, Egyptian god Anubis. Ooh. Glue him down. Get that string off of there. Glue him down upside down. And we'll do Queen Anubis is last. Put some along this edge. Oop. I put a bit much. Ouch. Ouch. Them strings off. Glue her down. All right, I'll be back. I'm going to mix up the resin. I'm going to do clear resin, pour around here. And it's the, what is it? 2 parts to 1 part resin. It's the deep pour resin because I've got, I know, at least 4 inches, 3 inches to pour. I'll be back. This is my deep pour resin magic fly. So it's resin part, and then this is the hardener, and it's for 2 to 4 inches of pouring. So I'm mixing up 12 ounces total, and I poured 8 ounces in here and then 4 ounces in here, 2 to 1. So I'm just going to pour them in this bigger cup so they both will fit. And mix it up for 3 to 5 minutes. Done mixing. Did that for about 5 minutes. So I'm gonna start pouring it in here. Making sure not to get it in this cone. And hopefully I can see if I've sealed it tight, because nothing's seeping through. And I hope I made up enough resin. Probably have to make some more. It doesn't look like it. I did 12 ounces. I don't know if that's not enough. Got a few small bubbles. Instead of using my torch, I spray with 99% alcohol to get those surface bubbles out. And they'll continue to rise, and then I'll just spray it again to get those bubbles out. Now it looks a little milky to me now, but it does dry crystal clear. I've those stones that I had, those rocks that I had holding it down, I spray painted them gold. I want to put a few of those in there, in these corners. Let's see how they fall. I don't want them to cover up the goddesses and the gods, the kings. So I just want to put a few in the corners. Yeah, if I drop them right, oh, that'll be good. And that'll actually take up some room and make the resin rise. I'm still going to have to do another coat of resin, another layer of resin, but this resin takes 24 to 72 hours to dry. So it'll be a while before I'm back. Oh, that's going to be pretty. See, I spray painted the rocks gold. Like I said, I don't want to go in front of these molds in here. Just on the sides of them in the corners. And I'm going to use all these rocks. Just a few more. That side needs more right here. That's it. Spray it again with alcohol, because of course the rocks have created more bubbles. And we'll let that sit. I'm going to make up some more resin and pour it in there off camera. But then I'll have to let this sit for probably the 72 hours, not sure. But 24 to 72 hours. Stay tuned. We're almost done. I'm back at it. Another day, another dollar. Put another layer on here since this was not enough to cover everything. So I've mixed my epoxy up and I'm using the deep pour again. And I have a cup full, which I used 90 milligrams of hardener and filled it up to 240 total. Filled it up with resin. I've added, I'm always doing something. I have these, this fire glass, celestial fire glass, and it's really, really pretty. So I've added a little of that in each corner. And then I also put a few flakes of gold leaf in each corner. This here, I covered up that hole so it can have a solid top. And this is the bottom of dried epoxy that I pulled out of one of these cups. And it worked perfect. Put it on there and used some glue, glued it down. Keep that solid so resin doesn't get in. So I'm hoping this is it. Finish it off and let it dry. These pyramids take a lot of time, a lot of hours of drying, a lot of, depending on your creativity and how you want to work it, what you want to put in there, how many layers you want, how many colors you come up with. It takes a little time, but in the end they are so beautiful, and especially with lights. There's people who make these pyramids without lights. But I like the lights. Well, I'm hoping there's enough to cover. Good Lord. Let's just pour it from the top and see. Wow. Oh. Barely enough. Not really enough. And I'll do the rest off camera. It looks like I need another little tiny bit to cover. Maybe 1/8 of an inch. These things really take a lot of resin. That's why I did that hole, to not have to take up so much resin. The more you put in here, the less resin you have to use. Resin is not cheap, and especially this deep pour. Okay, I don't know if you can see it, but these little ends are sticking out. So I got to make up a little bit more, and I'm going to do that now and get that over with while this is wet, and pour it in there to cure at the same time. When I come back, should be the end results and demolding. I'm back for the last time. It is dry, and I'm going to take it out the mold, let you guys see. I'm curious too. I want to know how it turned out. Oh, okay. It's pretty. Turned out nice. think it turned out pretty. It's beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. All right, we're gonna turn the light on. Put it in the camera so you can see. Oh, look at that. Let me turn this other light out. What do you think? What do you think? I think it turned out really, really nice. Let's try and pick it up. Look. So pretty, so pretty. I don't know how well you can see everything inside, but I don't see the little sphinx that I did. It's pretty much covered up with the lights, but oh well. I don't know if you can see. The light might not be good for you to see the different goddesses. Can you see those? What do you think? So glad I'm done with this. So glad. I'm going to make a base. I'm not going to show that on camera. I'm going to put it on the base. I paint this little wood piece and I glue it to that, attach it to that so that it has a finishing, the finishing touch. So thank you for following along. Thank you for sticking it out with me. I appreciate you. If you like, if you got something out of this, if you learned something, hit that like button. Please subscribe if you haven't. If you have subscribed, I appreciate you. Thank you so much. Hit the notification bell if you want to see more. If you want to be notified. Give that thumbs up. Happy holidays. Happy Thanksgiving. Enjoy your family. Have a great one. Peace. We'll see you next time. See you next time. Take care.